Hello, viewers. I'm here to address the Beenieman situation that happened in Trinidad, where I see the video going around that Beenieman disrespected the doubles and triples food. Well, I'm here to give you my perspective. I honestly think that Beenieman did not mean any harm in when he said what he said about he heated the doubles and the triples and it was nice and he threw it to the dogs and the dog did not eat it. So he had a problem after that to eat it. They say experience teacheth wisdom. A lot of Jamaicans they grow with elderly people, their grandparents, or their grandmother, grandfather, or even elder people in the community. And they would tell you that dogs, animals in general, have a sixth sense that human does not have. That's why even the police they carry animals to sniff out things when they go on certain raids or in the airport. The animals can sniff things and from a mile that normal human beings can't. Example, drugs, narcotics, and so forth. So if B the man said he eat the doubles and the triples food and it tasted nice, we all know Beenieman who said he's the old dog from long time. Old dog like me. We have a girl in a 213. That was a song that was made popular by Beenieman a long time ago. Right? So Beenieman would consider as great regard for dogs for him to call himself a whole dog. So if Beenieman in this instance eat the food and he throw it to the dog, and the dog did not eat it, he could easily draw the conclusion that there was something wrong with it. Not maybe with doubles or triples in general, but that particular meal that he was eating would draw anybody's suspicion if they grew up in a way certain way of thinking based on what they were told by elderly people, because Jamaicans, they're very superstitious. They have a lot of proverbs also. So, dogs are very smart, as we say. So, the conclusion one could draw that if you throw something to the dog and the dog did not eat it, it could be something wrong with it. It could be contaminated. It could be even something that's poisonous. That's why the dog did not eat it. Because dog can sniff things, as I said before, that the normal people cannot detect. So it's only fair enough in Beenieman in this situation not to bash the king of dancehall, Beenieman, as he self-proclaimed the king of dancehall. But I can easily understand why Beenieman would have a problem, or anybody else in this instance, because if I'm eating something or before I eat it and I know of that philosophy about dogs that if you give them something and they don't eat it, likely that there's something wrong with it. It could be contaminated or something that's poisoned, right? I would have a certain hesitation to eat that particular thing afterwards. So in this case, Trinidadians especially, don't be offended. I'm asking you not to be offended, but each culture has a certain way of thinking. There's a certain way how Trinidadians think. Guyana, everybody in the Caribbean or everybody in the world have different cultures, you know. Even if you go to China, you know, or some other places, they will tell you that they eat certain animals, certain things that we in the Caribbean don't eat, right? And they revere certain animals, even in India and some other places. So everybody have a different way of thinking. So in this case, I'm gonna ask people to be lenient on Beenieman, because you can see things from a different perspective. Looking through Beenieman's perspective, maybe honestly did not mean to be disrespectful, but based on what he was taught from he was growing up as a child, or even later as an adult, that caused him to think and say what he said. And it's only normal, natural. I don't honestly think that he would be having a show in Trinidad and blatantly try to disrespect the people who is gonna perform in front. You know, he said it as a joke. Maybe he said it as a joke. He didn't mean any harm. But even in Jamaica, there's a saying: "What is joke to you?" In Jamaica, there's a famous proverb that says, "The bullfrog said, 'What is joke to you is dead to him.'" So maybe he said it as a joke, and the people who are owners of those businesses might see it as something detrimental because this comment, especially something that has to do with food, is very delicate, very sensitive, especially when it's coming to somebody as coming from the mouth as influential as somebody as Beenieman, who many revere as the king of dancehall. So in this case, I'm gonna try to be neutral. I understand the perspective from Beenieman, and I also understand the perspective from the people in Trinidad, right? So looking on both sides, from the angle of both sides, I'm gonna say each party, each has a right to say what they say and think what they think. But I'm gonna say let peace prevail. Unity and strength is what we need. We like the unity between the Caribbean islands, especially between Jamaica and Trinidad. We have a strong understanding. And when we all unite, we're much stronger. Just like you have your hands, if you separate them, you'll be weaker. But when you put them together, you're much stronger and you can hit a more knockout punch to whatever problem you face. So don't let this one remark, this tiny little flame, cause a big uproar, a big fire that escalate into something bigger than what it's supposed to be. As Jesus said, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." And I'm sure many of the people who are pointing finger and bashing and blaming Beenieman, a lot of these people have said things much worse than what Beenieman said about other food establishments, if we're supposed to be honest. So we're not supposed to go on like we're perfect and we're all goody-goody. And a lot of time people are doing interviews, they're trying to be sarcastic, they're trying to be funny. When you're doing interview, you're trying to be the best person you can, you know, especially when you know that the world is watching and you're very influential. But at times we do say things in a joke or say things and after it slip out. That's one thing with words. When a word is come to your mouth, you cannot take it back, because it done say already. So all we can do right now is just mend this situation and not to be so thin-skinned. And the good thing is, since Beenieman said it's about doubles and triples, it's like they get free publicity I never know about doubles and triples until this old Beenieman saga. And a lot more other people never know about doubles and triples. And because of what Beenieman said, much more people know about doubles and triples. So they get more publicity, more advertisement than they never know before. Even Machel Montana came and did something for them the other day, and I get a lot more customers from this. So out of every negative, there is positive. So in this, I conclude, I say, let peace prevail. Unity and strength is what we need. Congratulations to Bob Marley, the king of reggae, who won the Grammy because he said one love, one heart. And although Bob Marley has passed and gone, those words still live on. One love, one heart from the king of reggae. And I'm saying same thing. The king of dancehall should be proclaiming and trying to endeavor to spread that love and that message. Not just the king of reggae and the king of dancehall, but each and every one of us. One love, one heart. Peace. I'm out. Peace. What is on my nose? I'm out. Zagazao.